Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Mainstream Mondays right here on Night Owl Video. Today I am talking about True Grit. So we'll be talking about cast, production, critical reception from the critics, my thoughts on the film, where you can watch it, and all that jazz. So I hope you stick around to the end. Thank you to everybody who's recently subscribed. I appreciate your support and for all the amazing comments and likes. I love talking about movies with people, so if you have some opinions about films that I review, please feel free to leave comments below. But let's get right into this today on Mainstream Monday. True Grit. This is a Western from the year 2010 directed by Joel and Ethan Coen, who of course also directed Blood Simple and a couple of my actually real favorite movies, Fargo and The Big Lebowski. True Grit, the remake, stars Jeff Bridges, who was also in King Kong 1976, another remake, Tron and Tron Legacy, another remake, and of course he was in The Big Lebowski. This also stars Matt Damon, who was in Saving Private Ryan, and lots of Kevin Smith movies, and The Martian. This also stars Josh Brolin, who was in The Goonies. That was his first, I believe, that was his first film appearance. He was also in Planet Terror, as well as more recently Dune Part 1 and 2. And this also stars Haley Steinfeld, who was Gwen Stacy's voice in the Spider-Verse movies. And she apparently was in the newest Charlie's Angels remake, but I have to be honest, when I saw that, I was like, they did a remake of Charlie's Angels in 2019? I have no idea. It's kind of weird how those things just kind of slip under the radar. But yeah, so she was in that as well. The synopsis for True Grit is, after an outlaw named Tom Chaney, played by Josh Brolin, murders her father, feisty 14-year-old farm girl Maddie Ross, played by Haley Steinfeld, hires Rooster Cogburn, played by Jeff Bridges, a boozy, trigger-happy lawman, to help her find Chaney and avenge her father. The bickering duo are not alone in their quest for a Texas Ranger named LaBeouf. Matt Damon is also tracking Chaney for reasons of his own. Together, the unlikely trio ventures into hostile territory to dispense some good old-fashioned old Western justice. This film is an adaptation of a novel by Charles Portis from 1968 of the same name. A previous film adaptation was done in 1969 starring John Wayne, Kim Darby, and Glenn Campbell. I have seen that movie once, and I did like it. Somebody can leave the comments below, but I think he did like a Rooster Cogburn movie too, which is, maybe that was like a sequel or something, but I could be getting that mixed up. The budget for this film was apparently somewhere between $35 and $38 million, and the box office was a whopping $252.3 million. So this film did pretty good at the box office, probably due to the fact that it had a great cast, and maybe some people were just curious to see like a remake of this film. Or a retelling of this film, I should say, or novel. Open casting sessions were held in Texas in November of 2009 for the role of Maddie Ross. The following month, Paramount Pictures announced a casting search for a 12 to 16-year-old girl, describing the character as a simple, tough-as-nails young woman whose unusually steely nerves and straightforward manner are often surprising. Haley Steinfeld, then age 13, was selected for the role from a pool of 15,000 applicants. Haley Steinfeld was nominated for Best Supporting Actor in many award shows, including the Academy Awards. So she was really, I mean, her name's not on the credits of this, but I feel like it should be because she was really good in this movie. The film was shot in the Santa Fe area from March 22nd to April 27th of 2010, as well as in Texas. This is the first Coen Brothers film to get a PG rating in the US since Intolerable Cruelty in 2003, which is a film I've not seen. It's also the first Coen Brothers film to gross over $100 million in the United States, so good for the Coen Brothers. They deserve it. In the original True Grit from 1969, Rooster Cogburn wears an eye patch on his left eye. In the remake of True Grit that we're talking about, the eye patch is worn over Cogburn's right eye, which is true to the novel, allegedly so. The critical reception for this film, it currently holds a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. In his review for the Minneapolis Star-Tribune, Colin Covert wrote, quote, "The Coens dial down the eccentricity and deliver their first classically made, audience-pleasing genre picture. The results are masterful," unquote. And I couldn't agree with that person more. I really enjoyed this version, probably more than the original. I've definitely revisited this movie a couple of times compared to the original. I only saw that once, and that was a long time ago. But again, I did like the original. I thought the actors did a really good job, and as I said earlier, Haley Steinfeld was so good in this movie, so feisty and just so convincing in that role. And if you're watching the movie for that kind of spark, that kind of energy, she's the engine of this movie. I think like Jeff Bridges and Matt Damon and Josh Brolin are all great in the film as well, but Haley Steinfeld really I feel like she really propelled the story forward, and she was just so convincing in that role, especially for a young person. I think she even really outshined Jeff Bridges, and he's probably the main star of this film. The action scenes were great. The Coen brothers paced the story just right. The cinematography really captured the scenery of like that sort of classic Western scenery, and I was thinking like The Searchers or movies like that, where the background, the scenery is really a character in the film itself, and this rugged landscape. And I thought the Coen brothers and the cinematographer, whose name escapes me right now, but they really captured the essence of that kind of Wild West feel. And it just was like very true to like the spirit of the original Westerns from way back in the day. Like I said, The Searchers, I always remember watching The Searchers and just being blown away by the scenery. And of course, for somebody who lives on the east coast of Canada, you don't get to see that kind of scenery at all. So it's kind of cool to see that and such beautiful. I wish I'd kind of seen this on the big screen, because it probably would have been really amazing. Kind of put me in mind of like the Hateful Eight, like that as well, like where Tarantino shot it in 70 millimeter. It has that really wide, vast kind of feel to it. Yeah, there's some really good scenes in it. There's a scene where they're crossing a river that's really intense. And of course, I mean, I don't want to spoil the end, so I won't get into the ending, but the ending's really cool, and it's got a little bit of a trick to it, like to fool the bad guy. And so I thought it was just a great film. I would definitely give this 2 thumbs up. I would also say, like, if you like this movie, go check out the John Wayne version, because it's also very good. I probably like Jeff Bridges' version of Rooster Cogburn a bit better. I'm not a big John Wayne person. I do love The Searchers, but I could warm up to Jeff Bridges a bit better, even though he's playing like a drunken ranger who's a little gun happy. But yeah, really enjoyed this movie. Really enjoyed the performance. Really different too from the Coen brothers' other stuff, in the sense that, like that reviewer was saying, it was very like classically made and not a lot of weird eccentric stuff like Blood Simple or Fargo, where they have those quirky bits in it. This was like pretty straightforward, pretty I haven't read the book, but I'm going to assume it's a pretty true to the source material type movie. This edition is the just looking for a year on this. I always mean to look up the year, 2011. I always mean to look up the year before I start recording, and then I forget. This DVD is from Paramount from 2011. It's rated 14 in Canada for violence. It's a Region 1 DVD. It's presented in widescreen format. I love when they put, this film is presented in widescreen format. The black bars at the top and bottom of your screen are normal. It's like people are just dum-dums. The special features on here are behind the scenes with Matty Ross, outfitting the Old West, buckskins, chaps, and cowboy hats, recreating Fort Smith, and the cast. Yeah. One of the critics on the back said, a masterpiece. Yeah, it's really, really good. It's really, really good. So if you like Westerns, if you like Jeff Bridges, I mean, Jeff Bridges is so good all the time. But I said, really, like, check it out for Haley Steinfeld's performance, because she's just so good. I don't know if she's been in anything else like after that, but she's just so good. There's a picture on the back of the boys on their horses. There's Haley right there. There's Rooster getting ready to fire his pistol. Yeah, I mean, the cover too, if you look at it, it's the I didn't mention like the costuming and just the authentic look of the characters too. Like it's, I mean, I'm not a Western authority, but I guess that it's probably pretty true to real life. The disc is pretty boring, just True Grit. And it's in one of those stupid eco cases. Does anybody else hate these eco cases? They drive me crazy. Because when you go to push on the case, it all smushes in. I've even had some like artwork tear because of them. I mean, I guess they're trying to save plastic and save the environment, so I shouldn't complain too much, but just kind of annoying. You can, if you're a subscriber on Paramount or Amazon Prime, allegedly you can watch this in Canada as of the recording of this video. And you can also rent it on Google Play and Apple TV. And I think this DVD is pretty common out in the charity shops. So if you keep your eye open, I'm sure you could find a copy if you want one for your own. Pat Travers of Rolling Stone says, great filmmaking, great acting, great movie. Couldn't have said it better, Pat. Peter, sorry. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on True Grit. Those are my feelings on this movie. I really like this one. I do have a soft spot for Westerns, although it's not kind of my preferred genre, but I did go back and watch the Man with No Name trilogy, and I've seen a few other ones, Unforgiven, and probably more the Searchers, more the mainstream ones, Rio Bravo. But yeah, this one, like, it just meshes perfectly with those older films. Like, I thought it was just really well done, so... But let me know your thoughts on the True Grit remake from 2010. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you thought about it. Maybe you didn't like it. Maybe you preferred the John Wayne version. Feel free to let me know. Give me the thumbs up if you like this review. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And follow me over on Instagram at Night Owl Video, where I try, not always successfully, but I try to update that somewhat regularly. And like I said, last week I reviewed Fire in the Sky for Fright Friday, and last Tuesday I did Shallow Grave with Ewan McGregor. So if you like either of those movies or you're curious about them, go back and check those out. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I will see you at the video store or at the thrift store or just out and about somewhere. Maybe I will see you in the Wild West as we ride alongside Rooster Cogburn hunting down some bad guys. But until next time, take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.